So we've been walking now for about 10 minutes from the hotel where you saw from where I filmed the last video. We're coming up on the Colosseum soon. Had to buy an umbrella, this little mini thing for €5. It depends on where you are. You can get one of these things for 3, 4. In my case, it was absolutely necessary. It started to rain unexpectedly, which again is the way it is here. It'll rain for a little bit, not torrential rain, but it'll rain for a bit and then stop for a bit. Rain again and then stop. So it doesn't hurt to have a little umbrella handy. So, ¿qué calle estamos ahora?
Goldie o Golde, algo así. Ya, librería, mira.
Oh yeah, library. He's just pointed out, Raúl has just pointed out that there's a librería. They're called bibliotecas, I think, too. Definitely in Spanish, but I don't know if there are other names in Italian. But because I was looking for a book yesterday by Matt, I don't remember his last name. It's some sort of revolutionary book. I went into a bookstore to ask, and there's some vulgarity in the title, and I had no choice but to say the title as in as gentlemanly a manner as I possibly could. The gentleman behind the counter had no problem with it, but it turned out in the end it was a religious bookstore. My God, was I ever embarrassed. I didn't even have the sense to look around to see. I just assumed it was like a normal bookstore. But so I'm going to pop in here for a second and see if they have the book. Just making sure this isn't a religious bookstore either.
Me parece que es de Roma nomás.
Hey, hi, buddy. How are you?
Of course.
There's a resident pooch here. He's a nice looking dog. He looks like some kind of a setter. And extremely friendly. How you doing? What are your favorite books, buddy?
Está un poco flaco.
Yeah. Interesante.
El pelo.
El pelo.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Bueno, después.
Yeah. Después. Yeah, I'll do it later. I'll have a check. Although I don't know, it's a pretty small. Some pasta. I'm sure a lot of you understood why I just zoomed in on that pasta there. Oh my God. There it is.
Tenemos pasada.
Like in so many cities, you turn a corner and then bam. Now it's an amazing thing because I'm sure the people that live here don't even notice that anymore, but I can't tell you how I'm feeling right now. I can't even put it into words yet. Besides being overwhelmed, I don't know, maybe I'm a bit of a sap, but I just felt the heart beat a little faster to think that was built all of those years ago. Now I don't know how old these streets are. Like, I mean, how cool would it be to think that this street here existed back then? And people, the Roman people, actually walked along this street looking at, seeing what I'm seeing now as they approached excitedly to see gladiators kill themselves and people get fed to the lions, if that stuff's true, of course. Wow. More of these cobblestones. I'm so glad I got these new walking boots. I highly recommend them. I decided to go with these because they're really obviously very comfortable for walking long distances, but they look okay. Like, I mean, I could wear them to go into a fancy restaurant, right? Or to a party or whatever. Another great thing that came out of Portugal. My new walking boots. But you've got to spend a little money to get quality. Right? You won't find these kinds of shoes in Walmart, that's for sure. But think of your feet, guys. And I know a little bit about what I'm talking about when it comes to footwear, as I've walked all over the world. And I don't have a single problem with my feet. But I have been joined by other people who hang on.
Bien.
Yeah.
Se ve bien aquí.
Oh.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But I was just making sure that I'm getting the Colosseum in the shot. Yeah, I've been joined by a lot of people on these tours, and they've complained incessantly about how their feet ache. But Raul obviously doesn't have that problem. He went and bought some specially designed shoes. So, enough of that. But take care of your feet, guys. And here it is. Gee. Wow. Yeah.
Nice too. So you're from
Yeah.
Africa?
No, Argentina.
Casi Africa Blanco. Merci Maradona, Papa Francisco. Como te chama?
Canada for me. How are you,
Canada,
brother?
Quebec?
Yeah. No. Toronto,
Toronto. My
Ontario.
brother's working to Quebec.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Africa, Senegal.
Yeah. Senegal. Yes. Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you. So. Wow.
You happy here? How much time here?
Yeah, I've been here a couple of days, but I'm seeing this for the first time in my life,
Welcome.
and my heart is like.
Welcome. You very nice heart because you know us is very nice heart. Canada good people.
Thank you, brother.
Always have.
Thank you, brother.
Been to Africa?
No,
No, try go to Africa. Senegal.
I came very close a few times
Yeah.
to going, but one of these days for sure. One of these days for sure. So we'll see you.
There.
Thank you, bro.
Wait. This for you, Africa.
No, thank you,
No
thank
money.
you.
I'm giving my heart. It's present for you because I'm happy today. My
Okay.
wife have baby yesterday. Take
Okay.
your heart.
Okay.
It's Hakuna Matata. It's long life, long way Africa.
Thank you, bro.
It's elephant. The
Okay.
animal, the
Okay.
Africa.
Thank you. Thank you.
Give your friend. Give your friend.
Okay.
I'm happy today. My
Okay.
wife
Thank
have
you.
baby
Thank you.
yesterday.
Thank you, bro.
eh?
Thank you. See you.
Yes. Why wait? You have food for my baby, for my family in Africa.
I'm sorry. See, that's why you gave these to me, right?
No, something what you have to do.
Here, I'll give these back to you, bro.
No, this
Here.
I'm giving my heart.
No. Here you go. Here you go.
No problem.
And take
no
this.
Taking.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
good to you.
Okay.
Canada good people.
All right.
No racism. Always happy.
And because you did that, I will give you. There you go.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a good
Because
day.
I could see you were going to give that to me from your heart.
problem.
Thank you. Thanks.
you.
Okay. Okay, so that was an important exchange. Before I get back to the Colosseum, I'm glad actually that the camera was rolling when that was happening. So people will come up to you, and they're generally good people, guys, right? And they'll put something on you, and they'll go, oh, you know, it looks so good on you, etc., etc. See, there's another guy trying to do that with Raul. So they're good people. They're good people, but you saw how I tried to avoid him putting it on me, right? And then he said, "Here's one for your friend too," you know, trying to. And then you saw him immediately say, "Do you have something for me, for my family, etc." So, hey, is it okay to give somebody, another human being, money? You know, they're trying to make a living and trying to survive too, right? Of course, it's good to share, right? But the problem is you'll be doing this all the time, and people will be doing this to you all the time. So you have to say no. Now you saw me try to say no. He said for the first one, that's, you know, straight from my heart, etc., etc. I wanted to believe it, you know. So I took it, and he was saying things like, "Oh, you're not a racist guy. Canadians are good." So he's tugging at my heartstrings, right? But then he gave the second one for your friend, and then he said, you know, "Do you have something for me and my family?" So I paid for the second one just because, right? But anyway, what you saw there is what will happen to you all the time. Okay, so moving on from that.
Ya, vamos abajo.
Yeah,
Arco de Constantino allá. Ahora vamos.
the Ark of Constantine.
Constantino.
Yeah, okay. Now, isn't this interesting? In this area here, they're all. Thank you. No, of course not. Of course not. Toronto, Canada. Yeah.
Quebec.
No, Toronto. Yeah.
My
Thank
father
you.
live in Quebec, 5-year driver.
Oh, fantastic.
Because Canada is good, no racism. You're happy.
Yes,
Happy.
yes,
Have a
of
good
course.
day. First time here, my brother.
Yes, I need to get going with Raul. Okay.
This is your family,
No,
Canada.
thank you. Thank you. No, thank you.
Have
Thank
a
you.
good day.
Okay, so you guys saw saw that again. Yeah.
No.
So, but it's interesting that you too, that they're all African. I saw the same thing in Tokyo, in Kabuki-cho. And just for the record, I wasn't there for what Kabuki-cho is famous for. I really was there just to look around. And not making any judgments on anybody else either, but I just had to throw that in there. But anyway, same thing. Everybody there was from Africa, it seems. Okay, so Raul is taking us abajo, which means we're going in from behind to get a better view of, or a different view of the Colosseum. So you can probably hear in my voice I'm a little weirded out to be here and to have just seen the Colosseum, and then of course with all the vendors around, and you know, I'm traveling around on boats, so I'm typically in smaller port cities where it's a different kind of person. There is no instinct in most of the people that I meet and deal with to take things from you, you know, to get stuff, to get your money by selling you, you know, trinkets and whatnot. So my defenses, and what an ugly word that is to use against other human beings, but for lack of a better word, my defenses are usually not up in the way your defenses, for lack of a better word, will have to be up when you're traveling around in these bigger cities, right? Because if you have a huge heart like me and most of the other people I know, you're going to be walking around very quickly with no money in your pocket. It'll be given away to everybody else, right? Because, you know, this is the human way, right? You want to give, you want to share. And so my defenses now are starting to go up. I'm starting to get into the swing of being in a larger city. And Rome, a lot of you probably already know this, even just from reading other blogs and whatnot, but Rome is a very, very aggressive city in every way. The way people drive. So from the perspective of driver to driver, like if you're the one behind the wheel, you'll find that other drivers are extremely aggressive. But they're also aggressive when they're walking. They'll just walk right through you, so you're constantly stopping and moving around people, and unless you choose to, you know, when in Rome, do as the Romans. You may choose to become just as aggressive as them and move faster and cut people off, and it's not considered rude unless you actually bump into somebody or knock someone's coffee out of their hand or something like that. It isn't considered rude to even brush up against a person as you're walking by, because it will happen to you. But of course, don't get off the plane and then start playing bumper cars with everybody. But just give it time, and you'll see what I mean. Okay, coming in and around through this tunnel. Raúl,
Yes.
necesitamos cervezas pronto.
No, más tarde.
Más tarde.
veamos-
Raúl always says, más tarde, más tarde.
Veamos Coliseo
Yeah.
por fuera, no vale la pena entrar, no vale la pena entrar. Veamos el arco de Constantino
Yeah.
y después que volvemos
¿Cuánto cuesta?
para el Coliseo como
Yeah.
35.
35.
No vale la pena
30,
entrar.
32 euros to get in. Okay, you know, if you're a Brit coming over with your strong British pounds, no problem. But of course, for Raúl,
Yes.
with Argentinian money, that's a whole nother ballgame. As it is for me with Canadian. Okay, I have euros in my pocket, but ultimately it's the base is Canadian dollars, and the exchange rate is not in my favor as a Canadian, right?
Música callejera.
What is she selling? Oh, flyers to fast food restaurants is what she was giving out. Okay, now you see, I want to share something else with you guys. It might be, I don't know, should I or shouldn't I? Just to give you an idea of how our minds can be jaded, you know, a little tainted over the years. I'm 53 years old now, and I consider myself to be a fairly unjaded person, but a nun just walked by, and wow, there's a homeless person.
Están
On his
construyendo
knees.
el subte. El subte están construyendo. Línea C, la metropolitana de Roma.
Yeah, so they're doing some major repairs and changes here. But anyway, to get back to my story, and I get angry when this sort of thing happens every once in a while. But anyway, back to to the sister, to the nun, I just for a second it occurred to me. I wonder, is it possible that a person would dress like that to appear to be one thing, and for the purposes of taking advantage of people, or because I recall seeing YouTube videos where people in North America are making a lot of money from begging, and one person one day took the time to follow one of those street panhandlers, and the person was actually videotaped taking off their old and tattered clothing and then getting into a Mercedes Benz. So, yeah, anyway, life is a trip, man. It's a trip. That's all I can say. But am I ever glad and grateful that I've had the opportunity to travel the world, because it changes you almost immediately. And when you get to a point where you're totally comfortable in any place you go in the world, you know then you definitely are an open and different kind of person than most. Like, I mean, when I think of the things that used to bother me, 20 years ago before I began traveling, I cringe now to think of the stupid little things that used to bother me. And now, of course, they mean totally nothing, because this kind of travel, it takes you to a whole nother level. Okay, we're crossing here. Okay, you get a yellow here, guys. And oh darn, I don't even remember anymore how the lights work in North America. That's another interesting thing, another interesting feeling. I'm starting to forget some of the simple things that happen in North America. Anyhow, I don't know what the heck is wrong with me, why I feel like doing all of this other sort of chatting, but maybe because I'm I don't know, I'm not old, I'm 53 now, but maybe because I'm getting older. Oh, here's a tour guide giving a tour in an Asian language. Wow. That's kind of neat, but of course, there are enough Asian people visiting places all over the world that they would have to. Did I just show how out of touch I am? So there are groups of people there. Okay, Raúl. Let me get Raúl. With Raúl. Oh, good shot. With the Colosseum in the background. Yeah. Yo también, Raúl. Por favor.
Ya.
Okay. No nada, just yeah.
Sostener
Just,
nada más.
Sí.
Okay.
Colosseum.
Oh,
Hello to all.
Colosseum. Ya.
Shout out to everybody.
Oh, con destino. Okay.
Hey, Mocha.
Se apagó.
Gracias, Raúl. Okay, I have no idea what the camera is seeing right now. Hopefully I'm in a little bit of the shot, but shout out to everybody. Mocha, Miriam. Just everybody.
Época romana.
Oh,
Esto.
selfie.
Todo. Ya. Ah, ok.
Yeah.
Todo. Época romana. Imperio.
Sí.
Arco es bárbaro.
Yeah, so oh. Oh, she's taking a picture with her phone? Yeah, because I was just standing there and she was kind of looking at me expectantly.